Drake Hollow recently released a difficulty slider update. This builds upon a prior update in the form of the Sandbox mode, that is a sandbox mode separate from the campaign that goes on forever. But the difficulty slider one in particular, this modifies that so it has more viability if you want to play kind of an endless type of mode. What it does is it changes the difficulty of the enemies, how they spawn, how tough they are, and the resources that you gather, including weapons, ammo, along with what you use for crafting materials and building up your base. Along with that, the drakes themselves, how they function, how they spawn into the world. It's available through Game Pass on PC as well as Xbox. So here it is. When you jump into a game, I'm doing Sandbox, then you have presets, and it's pretty clear what each one means. Like Iron Man, you're going to have the max difficulties in each area. Strategic, they're going to have more item scarcity, and you're not going to have as much combat. The combat one, it's going to be more that way. And creative, it's going to be a lot easier. If you want to know the details of it, though, go ahead and kind of jump through the video and pause, and then you can see. But they cover basically all of the areas that you have to deal with in this kind of a game. Combat, resource management, even, and then that affects, of course, exploration. You want to tailor it, though, to what you want. Like what I did, I wanted the max difficulty, but then with raids, I kind of decided whether to do more or not, or to have them less often. Than with the drakes, having them come back too. But if I was playing with it with a group, I would just do Iron Man for the max difficulty, because then I can be revived if the player is down. How it works with the Sandbox mode is once you get enough sigils by either getting them through clearing islands or by raids, you're able to go to the next season. You start off in spring, and then you just go to each one. And you're timing it around when you have enough resources, and like the islands are too difficult, there's not much to gain by sticking around. But you can do this how you want. You can like force yourself to have to do everything all at once. And this depends on, of course, your preset, how difficult you made the game for yourself. But here you see me jumping from spring to summer. Much better. The difficulty is a lot higher now. Even with the Sandbox mode update prior to this, you still had the same issues like with the campaign, where the game is too easy and you have to be playing it long enough, jumping around to the next season to make it more difficult. But now you have that immediately, and you have to really make choices in every area of the game, especially if you did it my way and you ramped up the difficulty to the highest. I even tweaked it a little bit later where I had less raids but everything else, like and Iron Man, I didn't have that on because I was playing by myself. I would recommend doing that only if you're playing with other people. They're doing a combat update later on, but I found the combat to be good, not because it's similar to other games, but it's a package deal. You're thinking about the resource. You have a limited amount of resources to use in combat, so you can't just willy-nilly kind of go in and pick up things and go out. And there's enough variance in the enemy types that if you try and just clear islands and they have low-level gear, then you're going to constantly die and then have to go back. And even when I was raiding some of the islands, I found myself dying quite a bit too. So a lot more engaging, where you have to plan where you're going to set up your waypoints and what islands to go to, and what other ones you just kind of want to raid and not deal with. If you're playing with friends and you have friends, there is no online public matchmaking, and they're all on board for this type of a game, base building, exploration, third-person combat, then this is a buy. Constantly through my playthrough in Sandbox mode, I wish there was at least one other person, especially three. It would just be a blast, as you can do different tasks, and they all have a meaningful impact on your base. Before, it was just too easy, difficulty in the campaign as well as a Sandbox mode with a difficulty slider. But now with that added, there is real viability for them to play this endlessly. If you're playing by yourself, though, it's the same. Still, my other recommendation, getting it through Game Pass. You got to really check it out and play the Sandbox mode with the sliders first to see if you like it. But if you do like this video, please give a like. If you really liked it, consider subscribing. Tap the bell. If you're picking up on Game Pass, check out the link below. And I will see you next time.